Tommy Tuberville, the man who beat Alabama 6 years in a row. Thank you for that beat down, Coach.
That's a huge accomplishment.
We'll say that this morning.
We'd like to win one right now.
Yeah. Well, thank goodness. Hopefully that never happen again. How long have you been out coaching?
2 years. 2 years. It seemed like just yesterday. Time flies. And, I thought about running for governor when I got out. And they moved Kay Ivey in after we had a little transition there in the governor's office. I've been a politician all my life. I love politics. Watch the channel.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, it's just I love football.
Have
Same
you ever
thing.
run for office?
No.
You're about to be in for a rude awakening.
That's what somebody told me. Said you have jumped from the beginning to the very end of this thing.
I've got to ask you this, and we'll get to some of this stuff. We're going to show some pictures of it in a minute about your announcement and everything. Why, as successful as you have been, all the money that you made, the great health that you were in, why do you want to do something else? Why not just sit back and enjoy life?
That's the question I'm getting everywhere. And, I'm relatively young. I've had a great life, great career. I love God. I love this country. And every day I get up and every night I go to bed, I'm watching on TV what's going on, and I'm sick of it. And we've got to do something about it. We're not going to have the country in 4 or 5 years that we have that we've had. I mean, it is going. We used to say, I hate this for our kids and our grandkids. Things are going to really change. It's going to happen before we're gone. The pace that we're going. So, my wife said, "Hey, quit complaining about it. Go do something about it." So, I've talked to people all over the state about this, and before I jumped into it, and I did my due diligence. I've talked to senators, congressmen, people that have been in this, and they say, "Hey, you'd be perfect because you can talk, you can communicate, you can sell yourself first,
right.
And then you have to sell your state." So, I love this state, but this country is awesome. I mean, we hit the if you're born in this country, you hit the lottery.
Absolutely.
And I've been all over the world, and I want to help do something other than in the coaching realm. I want to try to make a difference. One person out of 100 in the Senate, I think you can make a difference, but you got to have a big enough voice to do that. When I walk there, everybody's going to look at me. He's not a politician. He's a coach. That's exactly what I want. People are tired of career politicians. They want somebody with common sense. I think I got a little common sense. But if you love this country like I do, I think I can make a difference.
All right, is that going to be an obstacle for you? People are going to see, like everybody here, just in awe that you're actually in the studio today because, two legends, me and then you up here.
That took all of 30 minutes for him to tell you he's a legend.
Be able to look over you being a successful football coach to be the senator from Alabama?
Well, first thing I'd like to say is it is not very easy being a football coach in major college school. You're responsible for hiring 100, 150 people. Your budget's $100 million. You have 120, 18, 19, 20-year-olds that you're responsible for. And on top of that, you got to win games. And you got to be successful. And so when I retired, I ended up in the top 50 in winningest coaches of all time, which I'm proud of. And I've accomplished a few things, but if I can do just anything to help this country get back on track, I think that'd make a huge difference.
All right, staying on that same path, you're running for Senate, U.S. Senate here in the state of Alabama, great state of Alabama. Coached at Auburn, you beat Alabama 6 years in a row. I can't let that go. The majority of the people in the state of Alabama are Alabama fans. How do you win them over?
Well, on the humor side, I tell people if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have Nick Saban. I ran the rest of them off.
Good answer.
And again, I know a lot of Alabama folks, and I've got a lot of support just in the 3 weeks I've been running. And so it's
you think they're going to be bigger than that? They're going to look at what you just said. If we don't have people like you wanting to step up to the plate and do something, it is going to be horrible for so many.
The Iron Bowl is a great game. But this is not a game that I'm running for. This is for the future of not just our country, but for our kids, grandkids, and us. I mean, we've got to wake up. I should tell people all the time, listen, or do you see what's going on? We've got to wake up and smell the roses, because if we don't, the people on the left are really going to bring this down, and it is fast-tracking real fast.
Well, that's my next question was, how are you going to deal with being from the South? You're born in Arkansas, and then lived in Alabama a long part of your life here, a large part of it. How do you deal with what's happening with the leaning left side and all the criticism they give President Trump and everything?
Well, President Trump, you got to give it to him. I mean, here's a guy that's made millions of dollars, billions of dollars, lost it, made it back, lost it, made it back. He's a businessman. And then he puts all that out front and goes and runs for president, and he wins. And he has been hammered for 2.5 years. How would you like for somebody to put $30 million and 40 lawyers on you and go back and look at everything that you did, and the guy comes out smelling like a rose? I'm even shocked. I think he's even shocked at, some things that may have come up after looking at all of it, but, he's an American. That's what I like about him. He loves this country, and I voted for him, and I'll tell you why. He doesn't need the money. He goes up there, and he's not going to take anything from the back. He's not going to make any deals to make himself any richer. He doesn't need that money. And so he's doing it for the people, the American people, and I tell you, I've been fired. I couldn't sleep for a week after he got elected.
Probably couldn't sleep last night worried about coming on this show.
Isn't that the truth? That's the truth.
You were National Coach of the Year a couple of times. How's that going to compare to being Alabama's next senator?
Well, I think it gives me a little bit of notoriety in terms of when you walk on the Senate floor, people will know who you are. I mean, hey, there's a coach. This is something different. We got somebody from the educational world, and that's what I'm going to take to Washington. Now, it all starts with education. I don't care what you do. If we don't straighten our educational system out in this country, we are doomed. And we're teaching our kids in high school and college things that are wrong. We've got professors that are so far left. They actually believe in the things that are going on in Venezuela. What are we doing? I mean, so we've got to wake up. And if we don't do that, I mean, it's going to be, it might be already too far gone. But I'm telling you, I'm willing to, get out of the woods from hunting and fishing and go up there and do everything I possibly can to help every person in this state and in this country.
Now, do you have anybody from the Trump campaign helping you out with this?
I've had some calls, but I'm basically on my own. It's a unique, a very difficult system. The average person can't run for an office because you got to raise money. You got to raise millions of dollars, and you got to get on the phone and call.
So you don't need any of that, do you?
Well, I've done well in my life, but it's going to take a lot more than what I've got to run and win in this office, which is really crazy, to be honest with you.
All right, let me wrap this up and ask you this: how are you going to campaign? What are you going on?
Well, I'm going to campaign against taking Washington and giving a lot of the power back to the states. Washington is overblown. We've got 30 million people up there in government that, as Trump said, it's a swamp. I mean, he's gotten up there and he's almost over his head already. He's been there 2 years. We have got to start giving power back to the states where they can make decisions. It's like a football team. Auburn and Alabama are different than USC, UCLA, and you got to run it different. Same thing. We're different here in Alabama than they are in Missouri, than they are in New York. So we got to have the power to make the decisions on our own. When we took away prayer in the church, in the school in the 1960s, we killed this country, and we got to get it back. And if they don't put it in other states, fine, but we've got to get it to where, hey, you can make your own decisions on what you want to do. If you want to have prayer in the school in Alabama, have it. And if we did that, we'd be so much farther ahead than everybody else. It'd be unbelievable.
Way to go, Senator. One last question.
He's fired up and ready now.
Do you think you could beat Nick Saban?
For Senate?
Anything.
Oh, I can beat him in golf. And I'm the only.
Oh, what? But you can beat him in golf.
I'm the only coach that's got a winning record over him. You know that, don't you? I didn't hate to bring. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. And I'll remind him of that because I'm coaching. That'll go forever now. So, but he's a good friend. He's a good coach, and I knew
he
when
gonna vote for you.
I would hope. I was going to see him last week, but his hip replacement. He didn't get to come. So I'll make the rounds. I'll be going to games all over.
Good to have you up here. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for the invitation.
You got our support.
This is great. This is great. Waste of time, but it's a great.
You're lucky I'm letting this slide. Hang on.